Well, the first impression is the mention of technology in the whole event, and it's not just sort of added on to the sporting event. It's being used for recording the stats, recording the scores, and translating the information to the web, and also out for the TV viewers.
I'm really impressed with just the sheer scale of what it takes to put everything together. I mean, that sort of stuff kind of tweaks my geek interests. So yeah, it's just the scale is amazing, and that it's capable of being put together in the short period it is it's very clever.
The live stats are very impressive too. Around about 170 million hits so far, and rising rapidly. Looks like a very smoothly run organisation.
This is the first time I look at the application, and I think it looks great. I mean, you can see in real time what sort of, using your camera just to see what's inside, what's going on, and all the data is coming through. It's just amazing, and it's just being able to seeing live what you see and what the data is actually behind those. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Also, I was impressed by some of the management methods being used. I've got a graph of the amount of power being used by the 3 different server rooms, which I think is a very interesting feature to have. I think it'd be good to have a lot of server rooms having these sort of things. We can compare server rooms and compare different hosting arrangements.
What I find intriguing is that you can click a button here on the scoring system that IBM's providing and get the energy consumption of the computers, the servers, the LAN, all that sort of thing. And from that you could calculate how much carbon emissions there are as a result and the greenhouse effect of that. So that's being essentially incorporated into the system. So it's not just about tennis, it's about the environment as well.
There's been a steady increasing trend towards using computers for more things, people using more computers in different ways, and this means of course more possibility for things to go wrong and security problems. I think this trend is going to continue. I don't think there's going to be any really huge changes in the near future. I'm hoping there'll be more use of open source software that's been well security audited and will try to turn these problems around. But I don't think it's going to happen in a hurry. The first thing I think they should do is allocate adequate budget. If you don't have the money, you can't fix things. And a lot of businesses, they're not doing things right because they don't have the money for it. They say, we don't want to buy new systems, we don't want to hire people to do things properly. We just want to put band-aids on the system. And that means you have a system that's a legacy system that's been running for years, has problems with it, everyone knows it's got problems, but no one spends money fixing it in advance. And then suddenly you have a catastrophe, and there's something that they couldn't have imagined happening, and then they start spending some money on it. So that's too late. You've got to imagine that there's always people out there trying to get you, and you plan in advance. Say, hey, if the system's old, if it's not very well maintained, if people don't know it very well, spend the money to fix up in advance. Don't try and react to a disaster.
It's interesting to see that, particularly through the public site for the Open, that IBM started to introduce a bunch of bits and pieces that help the fans talk back to the site. I can see that maybe for 2011 it'll be a whole lot more interactive again. So while we can see a Twitter feed, for example, on the website now, maybe we'll actually have real conversations going on, even on the AO website during the tournament. Maybe players talking to fans, sponsors talking to fans, and it'll actually be a really interactive, collaborative event.
I think Twitter is still going from strength to strength. It's sort of 3 years mark now, coming up to 4 years in March. And it is really mainstream. It's now definitely the source for news information that is happening right now in the world. So anything around like a big event like the Australian Open, the information is right there at your fingertips.
Definitely. I mean, at the moment we're just seeing it from Australian Open kind of perspective being used in the tournament, but you can see it to be used in restaurants or when you are traveling around the world, just to see the application actually giving you important information about what you see and where you are at the moment. So I think it's going to be a huge market for it. Yeah.
Cloud computing, in some ways, it's a move back to old-fashioned data centres. I think I'll see them in the next year just becoming a normal part of the way you do business. So, for example, here at the tennis, we saw a rack of servers sitting under the stadium used for doing some of the recording. But apparently they're not the main systems being used. The main systems are overseas in different locations. So that's just a routine part where the data network is there, so the computers can be anywhere in the world.